Way high, and up she rises. Roll, boys, roll, boys, roll. Way high, and the blocks is different sizes. Way high, Sally Brown.
Okay, today we are going to be watching a match between Caio Terra and Milton Bastos. Caio's in the white gi, Milton's in the black. They used to train together, but weren't at this point. This was at Berkut Jiu in 2005. Milton goes for a nice little inside foot sweep there, gets Caio to back step out. What we're generally going to see in this feeling out of the grip game, though, is that Milton wants to frame away with his left arm against Caio's shoulder, and Caio, in turn, is looking to grip over top of that frame and to make a same side collar grip. And Milton, realizing that's what Caio's looking for in this exchange, is going to sort of turn out of it and then back away. And here in a second, we will see them lock up. All right, so here they make grips. Caio brings his head down, changes his level slightly, and Milton follows to avoid giving him a clear window to the hips. And we can see here, Caio has made a same-side collar grip with his right hand, and it is going over top of Milton's left arm, which was the configuration that Caio was looking for earlier. Here in just a second, Caio is going to reinforce that grip with his left hand by gripping the sleeve, Milton's left sleeve. That's going to solidify his arm in position there, so that even if at this point Milton lets go of the collar grip that he currently has, his arm's going to be stuck in that position for a moment. We can see Caio's head starts to lift, and so Milton follows suit. His head moves up and away. That posturing up is going to help him avoid the worst of this attack. But we can see that Caio throws up a nice flying armbar here. He's got pretty good exposure on the arm. His knee shin area has found Milton's armpit, so that's in position. But because Milton made a read on Caio's attack, he's able to avoid getting his head controlled. So you can see as we come down that Caio's right leg never finds the back of Milton's head, so he's not able to really attach himself to the upper body or control Milton's posture like he would like to, so he misses the armbar. Now they end up in a sort of double guard pull type position. Milton's got control over both of Caio's legs. Milton's really aggressively attacking that ankle grip. Doesn't seem too concerned about coming up on top. Caio doesn't get a whole lot of resistance as he comes on top. Milton seems to be wanting to play this De La Hiva with the sleeve or with the pants grip low. So it's a very difficult to break grip. It's often frustrating and allows him to sort of pull Caio's foot off the mat and keep it kind of tweaked so that he can't turn the corner on that knee cut that he's attacking across the De La Hiva. So we can still see Caio trying to make some adjustments. Milton bails on the pants grip momentarily to frame away, to try and enforce space with his arms so that Caio is not able to get too close in on him. Caio makes a grip here on the same side collar, thumb in grip. We're going to see him come back to that grip a couple times throughout this match. It gives him some good cross-face sort of pressure when he wants it. Also allows him to pull himself in. He's bailed on it momentarily, though. And we can see that Milton has fed Caio's right lapel tail over his right thigh, and he's gripping it underneath Caio's thigh now in kind of the pit of the knee. Tries to come up there, maybe just looking to wrestle up a little bit, but gets put back down. He's still got a generally a De La Hiva set up, but isn't able to put the hook in. So we can see, let's back it up just a second. We can see Caio is gripping low on Milton's pants on the De La Hiva hooking leg. He is using that somewhat to frame away, just to control that leg. He doesn't want that foot to come back inside and hook under his thigh to get real, like a deep De La Hiva control. In a second, he is going to remake that grip. So we see he's remade the grip more on top of the pants. He's now also going to be able to use his forearm here to bring it against his thigh and act as a shield to close off the space, the entryway for that De La Hiva hook. And we'll see that in just a second as Milton tries to circles his foot, and is now running into the shelf of Caio's forearm there. Forearm is blocking the entryway for that De La Hiva hook. Milton would like to just kind of come over and then underneath, but is now on the shelf. His heel is sort of resting on Caio's forearm there. So Caio falls back. Again, we're in a sort of double guard pull sort of position, both men on their butts. Caio wraps the ankle, kind of thinking about a foot lock, but realizes he can't get into position. But he is able, in that double guard pull type position, to put enough pressure away to break the lapel grip that Milton had. So you can see now this hand that was gripping the lapel tail has lost that grip. So Caio squares back up. There's a second there as he comes up where Milton is able to get that lapel, that De La Hiva hook in deep like he would like, and starts to bring himself around the corner, brought his head this way. He has a couple different options there. He could potentially just kind of dump Caio's hips to the mat that way by pressuring with his non-De La Hiva hooking leg and kicking through with his De La Hiva hook. He also has the option to bring his non-De La Hiva hooking foot, bring it inside and put it in this behind the knee pit there in the knee pocket, and then just bring his hands, make grips along the belt line or the pants line, and do a baby bolo, just basically scoot his way around to the back. But Caio makes a read on that very quickly, centers himself back up, squares back up. So now we can see Milton again going for the lapel tail. This time it's the far lapel tail, and he probably wants to pass it underneath Caio's right thigh, but is unable. Caio there for a second looks to shin cut rather than knee cut. And again, Caio returns to the thumb end, same side collar grip here. And we'll get a better view on this in just a second. So he hits a hip here, trying to extract his leg, and we can see there that he's got that same side collar grip. He is able to put pressure down through that if he wants, to sort of staple Milton's shoulder to the mat. He also has some cross-face type pressure that he can work off of that with his forearm. It acts as a barrier. If Milton wants to try and turn his head to look toward the mat, he's going to run into that shelf of Caio's forearm, and Caio can straighten that arm up more, and really enforce Milton looking that way. He wants to keep Milton looking up rather than looking down, so that he can't really turn into his guard to make it more effective. And we're going to see Milton comes up to his, let's get the pixels off there. Milton comes up to his elbow, and now he's going to build up base to his hand. Now he's in a sort of dogfight type position that you see Lucas Leche play a lot, and but is running in again. He's not able to fully look straight down. He's kind of looking at an angle this way because of that forearm cross-face pressure from that same side thumb in grip that Caio has there, and that's going to continue to be important as the match goes on. So whether because Caio returns him to the mat or Milton just wants to get back into his guard game, that might be the case. He sort of falls back out of that dogfight position and goes back into playing some De La Hiva. This time he has the lapel fed, Caio's left lapel fed underneath his leg, and then is making a grip on the tail underneath the thigh. That helps him control Caio's posture. It's difficult for Caio to bring his head up now. It also adds a little bit of rotational control, because that is going to be controlling primarily at Caio's left shoulder, and so pulling on it will cause Caio's left shoulder to dip slightly. So it gives him a little bit of rotational control there. But now we see Caio takes a different tact. So previously, Caio has always knee cut across the De La Riva to the non-De La Riva hooking side. That's been the only real pass that he's attacked up until now in this match. At this point, though, he is going to instead completely extract this leg that's inside of the De La Riva control. To do that, he sort of makes a slight frame, just kind of open palm against the shin of Milton to sort of get some counter pressure. He checks that with some posting or a push, which lets this leg move upward. And at the same time that he extracts that leg, he's going to very aggressively knee cut to his right, attacking the knee cut with his left knee. So he's not only freeing his leg from the De La Riva control and attacking a knee slice, he's also forcing Milton to play guard to what seems to be his weak side. Up to this point, Milton is always playing De La Riva with this left leg, and seems to be much more comfortable playing his half guard reverse De La Riva variants off of his right hip. But we're going to see as Caio makes this explosive move that now he's put Milton on his left hip. So he's got Milton playing guard to his what seems to be his offside. And it was a fairly explosive movement. He doesn't free his foot. He remains stuck in a sort of quarter guard type position. But it's an explosive enough movement that Milton's direction changes. He sort of gets dragged this way along with Caio's momentum. Now Caio moves himself in front of this knee line. So you can see the grip at the knee here. He's pushing that knee backwards towards his back so that he can get his hips in front of that knee. Once he gets in front of that knee line, he's going to have the opening for the attack. The camera angle here is bad, so we can't see it. But Caio's right arm again makes that same side thumb-in collar grip right beside the neck, and he's going to then follow up by bringing his foot over and then behind the neck of Milton Bastos. So Milton is on his left side right now. The right side of his neck is facing up and exposed. So as Caio does this step over, he's looking to put Milton's neck in this general area on the back of his thigh. And then he's going to curl his heel towards his butt to sort of lock that position in. So we can see, let's get rid of the pixels again. We can see he steps over here and then falls to bring his head or his shoulder to the mat as base, just as to help prevent being just completely rolled over, since he's thrown his weight so aggressively to one side. That acts as a bit of a kickstand, and we'll see in just a second here that. Okay, so now we can see Caio has pinched his heel towards his butt slightly. He has his leg going around Milton's neck and around the back of his head. That same side collar grip, again with the crossface pressure, is causing Milton to look this way. So Milton is looking towards Caio because Caio's forearm is running across his jawline and forcing him to do so. So in addition to the choke pressure from the thigh and from the lapel or from the collar grip, he's also dealing with a fairly nasty neck crank sort of attack here as well. And you can see that the direction that he's looking and the direction that his hips are facing are perpendicular, which is where that neck crank pressure is going to come from. And we can see that he very quickly gets to that. Very effective. You can see how deep that grip of Caio's was, running just straight across. That pulls all the tension out of the collar going around Milton's neck. Caio's thigh on the far side acts as almost like a triangle pressure against that far side of Milton's neck, against the carotid on that side. and then Caio, through this arm, is pulling with that, starting the lawnmower sort of pull pressure. And Milton has no choice but to attack there. And we can see that through that entire sequence, Caio remained in half guard. So at no point during that sequence did Caio actually escape the half guard. He finishes from still within it. And we'll just watch that play out again. So he builds up base, he falls back to the De La Hiva. Caio extracts, does a hard knee cut to the side, gets in front of the knee line, makes his grip, steps over, choke pressure, gets the tap with his foot still in the half guard. So that's all that I have today. I plan to be putting some more of these analysis breakdown type videos up soon, so keep an eye out for those, and steal what works.